And with that, it is now time. I'm throwing it over to you, LadyErianna. Here is Landstalker, The Treasures of King Nole.
Hello and good morning. Good happy time zone, everybody. My name is LadyErianna. Today we are going to run Landstalker, The Treasures of King Nole, also known as isometric Zelda experience. This game is not inspired by Zelda at all, as we will definitely make sure. I'm joined in commentary by my good friend, Emily's Poorly Drawn Bees. Hello, Emily. Yo!
Hey, Ariana, yo, what's up?
Yo, it's early. I am tired. Let's do this, Rod. I am so excited for this. It's going to be a great time. So I'm going to give a countdown starting for five. Oh, hold on. I got the holds up. It's okay. We good? 1 second. But so anyone who doesn't know what this is a 1993 Sega Genesis isometric Again, I'll explain in a minute. Anyways, we're good to go, evidently. So countdown: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stalk some land.
All right, let's go.
And the first thing I'm going to do is put down my controller and just relax a little bit because we got a 3.5 minute cutscene. So, Emily, what do you know about this game?
Oh, you can't quiz me 3 seconds into the run. This isn't fair. I know it's orange, and I know
it's the Sega Genesis' favorite palette color. You know, is orange. It's like my cat.
Yeah, ever since Sonic 3, ever since Sonic 3 came out, just every game was very, very orange. No, but for real, as Ariana said, this is an isometric Zelda-like game. But it has a lot more platforming, which I know was a big surprise to me when I played it for the first time. Lots of hidden isometric things and isometric jumping puzzles. Basically, like this opening cutscene here, you're seeing what this game is all about, albeit without the difficult parts later.
Yeah, we're totally not a person wearing green. We're not a green tunic wearing elf kid who happens to wield a sword or anything. We take control of a character who's got the best name in all of gaming. His name's Nigel.
Ryle?
Okay, Ryle in Japan.
Nigel Niemeyer.
Yes. I am playing the Japanese version. I'm still going to call him Nigel. So we steal an item called the Statue of Jipta, and we sell it to this guy for 2,000 gold. That's kind of how the lore is going right now. We're a treasure hunter. We're, way before Locke ever did it. And all of a sudden, oh my God, there's not Navi shows up for some reason, and she's hiding from another group of treasure hunters here, Kayla, Wally, and Ink, and they're chasing after her because she knows the location of the treasures of King Nole, which namesake. So they want her, and I heard this imp is named Friday. Definitely not Navi, and. So what's going to go on is he's like, hey, you're a treasure hunter, right? Help me out, and I will show you where the treasures of King Nole are. So Nigel's like, let's go. And Neely's just going to hide in this corner while being chased and not going to get seen at all. Because, this is an isometric game. Sometimes you just can't see things around the corner.
All that right after he jumped off the building without even spraining his ankle.
Oh yeah,
he's got skills.
Nigel takes no fall damage in this game. There is no fall damage at all, which makes him better than Link, by the way. So Friday's like, yeah, I don't know where exactly they are, but they're on this island called Mercator, and if we can get there, I'll point you kind of in the right direction. We'll find it from there. So Nigel's like, all right, let's take the best thing we can find to get to this island, a giant bird.
And look at this. Look at this. No safety gear. Not even trying to hold his footing or whatever. Those shoes probably aren't work safe approved or anything. He's just there on a wet flying bird, just chilling, just standing.
Yeah, the bird's got at least safety goggles on, so he's at least it's serious mode of transportation. So
also, Friday was able to keep up. That was interesting.
Yeah, I know, right? This game makes zero sense whatsoever. It's so we arrive, right at the cave, the entrance to King Nole's treasure. So we're where we need to be right off the bat, third to final dungeon already, and noticing, and this basically is an introductory dungeon. I do say third to final dungeon. We will be back here later. Spoiler alert. But the first thing we're doing is this is kind of an introductory dungeon. They're not throwing anything drastic at you. And the first thing I picked up there was an item called a life stock. So think of it like a heart container in Legend of Zelda, except life stocks are a little bit more important. Can you describe why that is, Emily?
Because on top of increasing your health, they also give you a small boost to your attack stats. So basically, both your stats, if you will, are controlled by life stocks.
Yes, there's another piece that goes into a damage formula, and I probably should tie my shoe while I'm here as well. Oh my god, there's a boulder right there. Hi, boulder.
You know, nothing drastic.
No, the boulder's got like no. Like I said, they're not throwing anything dangerous at you. You literally can just stand there on that boulder, tie your shoe, go get a drink, do whatever. Oh, and by the way, I'm now on a raft. It's just like I got pushed away by that boulder, and even if you try to make that jump, the game's just like, yeah, visible wall, deal with it. Yeah, we are now getting further and further away from King Nole's treasure, and it's like, well, shucks. I guess it wouldn't be much of a game if we could just skip right to the final dungeon right off the bat. But also, when I said the idol takes no fall damage, he just face plants here, and is rescued by this by the princess of this village. So, Emily, do we want to talk about the first and greatest trick in all of speedrunning for this game?
Okay, no, because this involves one of my most hated speedrun sentences ever uttered. So, Erianna has to pick up a dog and throw it on top of a statue, and she has said these exact words to me: picking up the dog is a frame-perfect trick. Picking up the dog is not a frame...
It's a near frame perfect trick. You're not supposed to be able to pick up dogs in this game. So this is what we affectionately call dog toss, and I'm going to try to stand the dog. There we go. I picked it up. And we're going to line up. And I had a feeling that was going to happen. So now I'm going to pick it up again because I bonked. I was standing in the right spot too, but pixels and isometrics. So, dog, get back here. You were a good dog too.
Yeah, the fun thing about the speedrunning this game is that this is one of the 2 hardest tricks in the entire game, and it's like the first thing you do.
Yep.
There you go.
There. Anyone who's in the audience, applaud for that one. That was a tough trick. Thank you. I'll take a pity clap any day at this point. No.
Please clap.
Please clap. It made me feel better. No. Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to pick up dogs in or any animal in the game, but you can kind of just pick it up. It is a near frame perfect trick to do. The intended strategy was to jump on the dog, then jump on one of the guards, and then on top of the statue. That's too slow because every unit has like a random movement. Also, by the way, if it moves in this game, you can stand on it. We will be utilizing that.
And sometimes if it doesn't move, you can still stand on it.
Oh yeah, this game makes no sense on anything. So we're at the...
This guy just does not care.
We are in the first dungeon of the game, which is called the Waterfall Shrine. As you can see, I did do a damage boost to kind of get around some stuff, and I'm going to be sequence breaking using this similar strategy. There's a lucky e-cake drop. We love to see those.
Oh, we take those?
We do take those. So e-cakes... Oh my god. Please get up there. Thank you. E-cakes are basically like fairies. So if I die, they will revive. Wow, these guys are not cooperating. All right, there we go. So there's the first quote-unquote boss of the game, just a group of orcs. And then we're going to just talk to the old man who's got information on where King Nole's treasure is. And he's like, yeah, come back later. I'll have more information. And he doesn't really tell us anything.
So going back to a second for why that e-geek drop was so big. So this game has a lot of damage boosting. Everything is damage boosting. You're damage boosting through doors. You're damage boosting on top of enemies to get jumps. And just damage boost, damage boost, damage boost. So a lot of your routing on the fly is dictated by how many health items that you just randomly pick up from enemies, because the more you pick up from enemies, the less shopping you have to do later. The less shopping you do, the less money you need. It just goes into a whole cycle here. So getting random health items from enemies, huge deal.
And also, if it seems like I'm going, my controls are not in the direction I'm intending, the controller that I normally play for this game, yesterday during practice, it broke, and I feel like I had PJ energy, just as how things have been going with
It's
this.
just that marathon luck.
It is that marathon luck, and so the last chest I picked up before this one was a key. Much like in the original Legend of Zelda, keys can be used at any dungeon. And because we kind of broke ourselves by doing that damage boost before the Orc Room, we were able to just take this key and we're just going to take it to the next dungeon and just do some more sequence breaking because we have that ability. So got a little bit of time here during our walk. So Lisa, anything you want to say, my friend?
Thank you so much. Well, we are here, 10-year anniversary RPG Limit Break here in Denver, Colorado. We are raising money for NAMI, or the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI was formed in 1979 as a grassroots advocacy organization by a group of parents whose children suffered with serious mental illnesses, and they have maintained that focus to this day.
All right, so we just went back to town and they said, oh yeah, the same enemy tribe that just destroyed the bridge to their tribe fixed the bridge, then stole the princess. So it's like, why did they break it in the first place if they just want to take the princess? So they're asking us, hey, could you rescue the princess for it? And we're like, no. We're treasure hunters. We're not, we don't save people. But unfortunately, we actually do need to save the princess. So, what I'm doing here, and this is a very tricky thing to do, when you actually slash in this game, you actually are at a standstill. So a lot of times you're going to see me jump slashing. And these bubbles have a low hitbox. So rather than jump and slash, I have to slash and jump. So I'm holding the controller very awkwardly where my index finger is on the A button and my middle finger's on the B button. It took a lot of practice to get that one.
So we're doing Fight Stick style, okay.
Yep, basically. And so we found out, hey, they kidnapped the princess and they are going to sacrifice her to their god, because what RPG trope is not complete without, some ritual sacrifice.
So one thing I love about this game is like the sound design. There's either it shifts between really good music, really good catchy beats, but also on the other end of things, every enemy has the same grunt when you hit it. I didn't know bubbles grunt when you hit them that way. That's kind of weird.
Maybe you should try and hit them that way and see what sound they make. Also, shout outs to this chicken who's just living its best life.
I'm jealous of it.
Getting its steps in?
It's very much getting the steps in. If only I could pick up that chicken. Nope.
I feel like you probably could.
I probably could, but you know how hard it was to pick up that dog.
Yeah, that's true.
You think it was perfect for the dog.
All right, so where are we on our way to next?
So we're going to the Swamp Shrine now. We picked up an item called the Idol Stone, which is the key to getting into the Swamp Shrine. Also, there's a hidden staircase back there because welcome to isometrics. Isometric Zelda experience, everyone.
This world operates on some weird visual rules.
Oh, it does. And I'm going to be taking a lot of safety steps in this run, because, especially early on, because this game is brutal for the first two dungeons. And so it may seem like I'm going a little bit slower, and that is because I don't want to have a rip run into this marathon. So we're going to go ahead and use this, and we're going to do the first trick of this dungeon. I wish there was a better name for it, but it's called Ball Skip, which I'm going to jump on this ball, take damage, jump on this statue, and miss that jump entirely. So we get to do it again. How it's intended is to go over the door.
There we go.
Because, yeah, there we go. It's so nice I did it twice and failed the first time, but that's...
Yeah, so a fun quirk about this game, in the Japanese version, instead of doors going all the way up to the ceiling like most games, doors in this game have kind of a hitbox of their own, and it doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling, so you can jump on something and then jump over the door, which is something that you're going to see a lot of during this run.
Yeah, there's a few things on that. I think it's possible in the US version to do that skip as well, but I do know doors hitboxes in the JP version are a little bit different. So we're going to be, that's one of the reasons I play it, aside from the aside from the faster text boxes, of course, is doors literally are just suggestions in this game, and we're going to be breaking that. I am collecting as much gold as I can, and I just left that one on the table. Hi, Ari. We leave money on the table here. Picking up this...
So what's the money goal for by the time we get out of this dungeon?
I want to be in the mid-100s. By the time I get back to Gummy, which is the second town which had the ritual sacrifices and everything, I want to have 206. Ideally, I'll have an idea when I get back to the first town how much gold I have, because we're going to buy a livestock. It's a little more expensive in the second town, but it's quicker to buy that one. Depending on my e-geek count, which are my herbs basically that I'm picking up, depending on that count and how much money I have, I may buy it in the first town. But we will see.
And how many lifestocks are we shooting for by the end of the game?
In a normal run, we are shooting for about 59. I could do it with 58. But it does make a couple bosses a little bit harder. Believe it or not, just one livestock difference will make a world of difference in many cases. Because we are doing... I heard the dog dungeon incentive got met. Is that correct, Lisa?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi. I actually have some donations to read, if that's okay.
Yeah, that is totally fine. Go for it.
Awesome.
I'm just killing stuff.
We have some $5 from Keishura. Hi, Eri. You're cute.
Aww.
I'm sad I can't be there this year, but I'm hyped to see a Val Cutie on stage again this year. This donation goes to your choice.
My choice. I will get to that at the end because I don't know what the incentives are right now.
Good times. I also have $5 from Queen Peels. Say her name and she appears. I believe in my hun bun.
Aw, thank you, Queen. Queen's my wife, and she calls me hun bun a lot, and it's adorable.
That is the cutest thing ever in the whole world. I can't handle it.
she was trying to do the Joe Hendry theme, which I think Emily also might have picked up on.
I did.
I have $12 from that Wind Bliss. Wait a minute, this isn't the Zelda game we were promised. Just kidding. Faye Nico wishes best of luck, Eri, and I'm sure the Valks will say the same. Don't get dogged too much in the dog dungeon. Lesson 3. Dog
dungeon is perfect. Yes, and I believe it did get met. So we are going to have, because, oh shoot, I missed that. Because we met dog dungeon, we also get, because I'm such a nice girl, we're going to go ahead and also do tree dungeon because it's actually quicker to do a second dungeon and do dog dungeon than it is to just do dog dungeon. So because of all your generous donations, we are going to do tree dungeon as well. So thank you all so much for that.
Now, are these official dungeon names? Or
no, they're not.
Okay.
Tree dungeon is called, it's officially called Tibber, which is the name of the giant tree. It's not the Deku tree, I swear. But it may make you think of that.
Yeah, tree dungeon definitely sounds more appealing to me. I don't know.
And dog dungeon is officially called the Witch's Hut. But dog dungeon just sounds so much better.
I don't want to go to a witch's hut. I want to go to the dog dungeon.
Exactly, dog dungeon. All right, so I got 2 e-geeks. I'm a little nervous about that, but I should have enough. So I'm going to just get right in this orc's hitbox and just go right through that door. So, because again, doors are suggestions, but you have to be in an enemy's hitbox in order to do it.
We will do literally anything except use the handle on a door. What's a handle? We don't know. Never seen one of those before.
No, and we gotta save keys somehow. So, hey, we rescued the princess. We probably should escort her out. She's going through this door. It's like, nah, she'll be fine. I'm sure of it. We got more stuff to do here because we had an extra key, so we just sequence broke a few things. These orcs are not cooperating. They're not green either. Could we really call them orcs if they're not green? Especially if they're not doing it for the walk.
So going back to the tree dungeon into the dog dungeon, the tree dungeon is to open up transportation across the world map, correct?
Yes, we're only going to use it once, and we'll explain that a little bit later as we go. But yeah, so if you complete Tibber, the tree dungeon, you end up getting access to smaller trees, which if you actually visit both of them, then you can warp between them because this game gets the world gets pretty big, and walking takes forever. Even though Nigel has the absolute best walk animation, I mean, he's confident.
Oh yeah, he does not care about anything. Yeah,
that is
chest held high.
Yeah, and for someone who, and I wish I knew his aging secret. This guy's in his 80s. Believe it or not, he's in his 80s. I hope when I get to be 80 in like 3 years, I will look half as good.
And jump half as high.
You know, take no fall damage too, because I'm sure once I reach 80, I'm going to be taking a lot of fall damage.
I think
I'm sure being a fictional elf has athlete.
Swag kill. Got it. So, thankfully, we are just about out of this dungeon.
And we're at almost 200 gold, so we're going to be able to buy that livestock, no problem.
Oh, yeah. I got plenty of gold, thankfully, and I didn't leave a lot on the table. And we are through what I kind of call the trudge of the game a little bit, where it's like just really, really scary. And we're coming up on some really cool dungeons and tech and everything. But in the meantime, we're just walking, so... Lisa, hi. How you doing, my friend?
Hello there, Ari. I have $5 here from Red Silvers. Can you pet the dog in Landstalker? Yes, but it's a frame-perfect trick.
Yes. And if you mean by pet, you mean pick up. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, everyone has their own definition of pet, I guess.
Yeah, this is true. Pick up, throw, become. Yeah.
Can you pet the chicken?
You can. It's the same trick. Chickens will move a little bit faster, though. Although there is actually a mini game, which we won't see, where the objective of it is to pick up chickens and throw them into a hole. And the more chickens you get in the hole, the more money you get. We won't be seeing that because it's, optional.
It sounds like a certain video game movie might have ripped that off.
Either that or, Ocarina of Time just, Ocarina of Time ripped off so much in this game. I'm going to just say that right now. That's my hot take. It's like, Fairy Companion? Come on.
So we talk about picking up the dog as a frame-perfect trick, petting a dog as a frame-perfect trick. What about becoming a dog? Is becoming a dog a frame-perfect trick?
No, it's just, it required a substantial donations. An amount of substantial donations in order to become dog. So that is thankfully that is beyond my control too. That was complete RNG, which the audience was so wonderful to contribute to that. So kudos to that for helping me with this run, because you also making this game a little bit easier for me, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
All right, so setting up that GoFundMe, become a dog. There we go.
Oh, another lucky e-geek drop. I think that's 2 now.
We take those?
We do
that's
take
2,
those.
Yep.
Yes.
I'll donate to that GoFundMe.
All right, there we go.
Oh, thank you.
So we rescue the princess, and the mayor of that town gives us a red jewel. So in order to actually get King Nole's treasure, we need to find 5 jewels. And the red jewel is one of them. Spoiler alert, though, we only find 2, and that's not because of speedrunning or anything. That's just because we're going to run into some issues later as far as collecting that. I'm going to pick up the Sea Geek as well for safety. I got extra money, so why not?
Also, shopping in this game, super fun. Just pick up a thing and just throw it at the clerk and throw the money at the clerk, and then they throw it back, I guess.
So, yeah, it's like it just goes magically to your inventory. I mean, don't you wish you could just go to a Walmart or something, go to self-checkout and just yeet your item at the scanner and have it scanned without needing to do anything? Walmart, get on that. Some realtor, get on that. I want to do that.
I don't know if I need the customers throwing money at me or throwing items at me or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Also, the reason we couldn't actually get through here is because there's rocks in our way. We're moving rocks, we're moving rocks, we're moving rocks.
Rocks, rocks, rocks.
We've moved that rocks, and now I pass it over to Lisa. Rocks.
Oh, that was a fantastic transition. I loved it. Thank you so much. So those of you just joining us, welcome to RPG Limit Break 2025, 10-year anniversary. Can you believe it? We're coming to you live from Denver, Colorado. We are raising money for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI was formed in 1979 as a grassroots advocacy organization by a group of parents whose children suffered with serious mental illnesses, and they have maintained that focus to this day. Please donate. Very great cause. And you get to see dog dungeons. Can you see dog dungeons any day of your life? Yes, sorry, my New York is coming out. It's one of my 4 words.
Yes. And coffee.
Coffee, dog coffee, audio. August. Sauce.
Sauce. That's what that's the things I have in my garage, is sauce. Multiple of them, too. That's how I cut my wood.
I thought we were talking about food flavorings and I was so confused. Okay.
So, backing up a little bit, the little mountain I went and I got that livestock in. If you actually go further up that mountain, you actually get an item called a magic sword, which you see the little bar in the upper left corner of our screen. That is actually our charge meter for the sword, and when that's full, if we have a magical sword, we do extra damage for that hit. So you would think, just go up to get that sword. It would increase our damage input. Yeah, we don't need it. I'm just going to ignore it. Also, shoutouts to Kayla, Wally, and Ink, who have followed us to this island on a raft from the mainland. And the currents are a little too strong. Bye, Kayla. Yeah, I'm sure we'll never see them again.
These currents that swirl in a circle?
Yep, because it's the only thing that's not orange in this game. It's just the water. All right. So the story goes, the mayor of this town has been kidnapped, because that's just a common thing that's going on with this. And taken to this dungeon called the Thieves' Hideout, which is my favorite dungeon in this game for platforming reasons. And we will be seeing that soon. This is where I start feeling a little bit more comfortable in my run. As far as I've got a little bit more health, my EQ count's high. It's like at this point, if I made it to this point, I can get a run in.
Yeah, as you may have noticed, a lot of these enemies that were taking 3 hits in the first dungeon are now taking 2 hits, and that's the lifestocks adding up and adding to the attack power to make those fights easier.
Yeah, it's kind of important to remember to kind of keep in mind how many. Now the orcs are taking 2 hits, and it's like this is just so much better. So we're gonna have some platforming fun. And by platforming fun, I mean taking that ball right, just taking it. That's
good catch. Good catch.
That is all right. Gotta try to get through this. I was hoping not to die there, because there's a free heal at the end of this. At the end of this stairwell, and I could have saved an e-geek, but there's plenty of places I can. That I can get the extra e-geeks in this dungeon, and I'll probably end up with a full count after this. A little flashing screen warning, and we'll push the statue. Jump over. So pushing the statue basically shuts the waterfall off, which, it's. I had something to say on that, and I completely forgot about it, or what I was going to say. So.
This society was still working on what plumbing was exactly.
Yes, plumbing. That's exactly where I was going. So normally after you shut off the waterfall, you're supposed to go back to the first floor and grab a key, come back up, go through a whole other rigmarole, and get another key. However, because we've done sequence break, we actually have 2 spare keys in our inventory. So we don't need to do that, and we're actually going to go right to the boss rather than do the rest of the dungeon right now. Dodging these boulders, and we're going to use the second key up here. And
yeah, unlike that first dungeon or the first boulder in the training dungeon that was made out of cotton or whatever, these ones actually do hurt.
These ones do, and they do take quite a bit of health out of me. Wow, holy, I'm stuck. There we go. That's never happened before. I said the thing. Oh my god.
You said the thing.
So, money's not too important from this point out, because the lifestocks I actually need to buy with money. In a normal run, because I'm doing 2 extra dungeons that actually give me lifestocks, I actually don't need them. However, anything I can get helps, just for safety especially. Also, that was the mayor. We just rescued him, and we got an item here called the lithograph, which we have a little bit of a cutscene here, and it's just going to explain that the lithograph shows where the location of the 5 jewels are. And the moment we find out and we look at it and we realize, hey, this is the island that we're on. These guys finally got off their raft and got onto the island, into the Thieves' Hideout, and they kidnapped Friday. It's like, no one kidnaps Fridays. Take Wednesdays, please. Don't take my Fridays. But they say, give us a lithograph or Ink's going to eat her. And it's like, okay, Nigel just hands it over. because Nigel's a good guy, even though he doesn't like rescuing people, even though that's all we've been doing. He just wants money.
It is kind of interesting, though. He just kind of, like, snatched Friday out of the air. Like, I can't even get a fly with my hands, let alone some sort of flying sprite.
And he did it without chopsticks, too. It's like, I don't know how he did that without chopsticks. But, all right, my favorite part of this dungeon, some really cool platforming. And what do? I fall into the hole right off the bat. Welcome to the isometric experience.
That was totally planned. What are you saying?
Absolutely. I'm just giving everybody extra content. That's what it is.
And we appreciate it. We love content.
And I did it again. Oh my god, I am not awake. When this is done like first try, it's really cool. But I am a woman of the people. I am giving you all just more Landstalker. There we go. I finally did it. You know what, B button? Please work for me.
You got this, Harry. I believe in you.
If we get to just see this trick again. There we go. One more time for the people. Get over here. Let's get through it. I always said this was my favorite dungeon for a reason. It was for that cool platforming when it actually works. Oh, wow. I did not think I'd hit that one as well. Normally, I like to get those two grouped together. We got a little sidetrack here. That is not how I envisioned that room. That ball did not cooperate. All right, right here.
Let's walk out and try it again there.
There we go. Yeah. I'm just going to ride it. There we go. That's how it's intended to be.
The intended solution.
Yep, absolutely intended. All right, we're almost done with
the actual intended solution is a lot more convoluted.
Oh, just a little bit. Also, it's a tarp. It literally is a tarp. It just falls out from our weight. And there's an extra. So we reaccumulated one of the keys. Reaccumulated? Is that a word? We reacquired a key that we had used. So we're going to actually get our key count back up. And hey, I've seen this room a few times today. How about you?
Best room.
Best room.
You got first try. I don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely. The audience didn't see that me failing 3 times on that. Absolutely not.
No, that was that bad dream you had before you woke up.
This is true. The lack of sleep. That's what it is.
Right now, you didn't wake up and you're like, you're doing the stream in your underwear. Like it's everyone's nightmare. I'm sure.
I have had nightmares about that. Yes. All right. So we got almost everything we need from this dungeon. We're gonna exit out because unlike any other game where you have like a warp spell or something to get out, no, we gotta foot it. But this is where we're supposed to go normally after pushing the statue. We go down here first to get the first key, and then we do the platforming stuff to get the second key. But this is a speed run. We gotta keep time going. Also, this knight's just gonna say hi. Stop blocking me, thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's we get this key afterwards because it's way quicker to fall down afterwards than it is to pick it up the proper way.
Yeah, because I don't know about you. I don't like going upstairs or ladders or vines. Stairs are my enemy. But
it's easier just to fall 3 stories.
Absolutely. Again, Nigel doesn't take fall damage. I mean, look at those boots. That's some Kingdom Hearts level boots right there. Does Sora take fall damage? Actually, please answer me. I honestly don't remember.
Kingdom Hearts inspired by.
I don't think so. Unless it's Smash, technically.
That's true. All right, so we rescued the mayor. And now we're going to horse around for a minute. And, mayor, horse. Got it? Ha.
I actually didn't.
Okay. Mayor. Because my accent's just so bad. All right, so I actually remember to talk to the mayor this time because he gives us a pass to the town of Mercator, which is the big town in this this game, and we can't get there without it. Last run I tried to practice on, I tried to go there without talking to him, and he also gives us a good chunk of money too. So we're gonna go on our way there, but because of all the wonderful donations, we're gonna go see Tree Dungeon now.
Tree hype.
Tree hype.
Can we talk about what a great name for a place Mercator is? Like, it's just so fun to say.
It is. Also, hi, Deku I mean, Tibber. So he's got a toothache because there's a bunch of ghosts that just randomly appeared. Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, ghost boosting, let's do it. One of the few enemies in the game that do not give money, but they generate a lot of lag. So we're just going to, eliminate this toothache that he's got. We're going to take this detour. The game actually expects us to go the other way, hit a button, come back, and then do this part. But remember when I said that if it moves, you can jump on it? Do you remember me saying that, Emily?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, let's put that theory to test. There we go.
Yeah, that's one.
We're going to be seeing that a lot in another dungeon. Oh my god, I almost fell. Thank you for hitting me in the face.
There we go.
Sometimes this game just says no. All right, so we're fine. I actually have a full count of e-geeks, so we're actually in really good shape. I am playing as safe as possible because also shoutouts to lag. So the cause of this toothache is this knight. We're just going to move him back here and just lock him into this corner. And he's dead. And that was tree dungeon. And we get this. The tree speaks to us from being within the tree too. Because logic.
Tree logic.
That's very tremendous.
And now we can teleport to the tree's children?
Yes, basically the tree's children. I saw Lisa groan over there when I said tremendous.
I try to hold back when people do puns. I am the host. I am professional.
Come on, we knew you weren't going to get through this shift without laughing at something I do. So, as she's just going on over there, I love it.
Giggling on mute.
A question from the last time you did this game. How does a tree have children?
Actually, if Queen, if you're looking out there, could you answer that? You're the biologist among everybody right now. I don't know. I think it's something about, they lose their seeds and they just spread out. I did visit the other tree because you actually do need to visit both of them in order to activate the warp. So that one wasn't active, so I just visited. I'll come back to it later. Also, these guards say, yeah, you have a pass, but we're not going to let you in unless you give us 200 gold. We say, no, go away. And they say, okay. And they just let us through. Because I don't want to give them money.
If only it was always that easy.
Right? It's like, just go away, capitalism. Just let us through. All right. So,
you can also tell...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you can also tell this is the main hub of the game because it has more than one screen.
Yeah, the biggest town in the game. This is the Kingdom of Mercator. We're actually going to go over here right away. We're not supposed to do this until way later right now, but we're going to do it right now since we have keys. So what we do here is we go in here and we're going to hit this button up here, which is going to drain the fountain that's in this town, which will allow us to enter an area called Green Maze, which we're going to do a little bit later, but we're just going to do that, or to get the fountain out of the way now. And in the meantime, we got a little bit of a sequence where we have to visit a dance studio. And we need to get an invite into the castle because we need to, advance the plot. So that is exactly what we're doing. We do have a little bit of time for anything you need to say, Lisa, so feel free to take it over for a minute.
Well, thank you so much. We have a $100 donation from Nick. I've never heard of Landstalker, but enjoying the energy of this run. Best wishes for the rest of the event. Thank you so much, Nick. I know we're enjoying Landstalker hype right now, but I do want to bring up that we have Golden Sun coming up next, so there's still time to get your donations in to name Garrett, Isaac, Ivan, Mia. Right now we have, for Garrett, we have Jenna winning with $50. Isaac, Felix is winning with $75. Ivan, the winning name right now is Shiva at $50. And to name Mia, right now Pierce is winning at $50. So please get those donations in for the next run.
All right, so what we did back there is we are talking to the dance studio people, which they don't allow children into the dance studio for reasons. So we talk to that girl by the pond, and we see the little cutscene where her father at night says, "I'm going to this dance studio. Please don't tell anybody." So he has access to the castle. And in order for us to get in, we have to become an adult. In order to do that, we become this guy here who, as anyone who's played Phantasy Star 3 knows, you become an adult when you get a mustache. And that is exactly what has happened here. We now have mustache. However, Friday's like, "Why are you at this dance studio? I don't like you anymore." Sorry for flashing screens, but she's going to damage us until it removes the disguise.
Rude.
Very, very rude. And so...
Yeah, so...
Go ahead.
So to recap everything that just happened, we had to disguise ourselves as a younger person because, as a reminder, our main hero here is 80 years old. We went to a fortune teller who disguised us, because that's a thing fortune tellers do, to go to a so-called dance studio, which is very much not Americanized censorship, to find this guy and embarrass him for being in a dance studio.
Yeah, so he found us like, "Oh my god, I can't deal with the embarrassment. I got to teach this kid a lesson." And we're like, no, we just swing our swords like, "Okay, I give up." And it's like, so he's like, "If you keep my secret, I'll invite you to the castle." The Duke of Mercator, who's basically the ruler here, he's basically saying that the Duke is finding a bunch of skilled warriors for a purpose. And what we're supposed to do is actually go to the castle, have a feast. The Duke says, "Yeah, there's a wizard named Mir who's terrorizing the people of the town, and we want someone to destroy him." There's that's a long cutscene, and then we actually have to do the dungeon called the Crypt, which no one likes the Crypt in this game, to get an item called the Amulet in order to access Mir's tower. However, that being said, I don't like the Crypt. I'm not going to do it. So we're just going to say no to it.
Going to a crypt to get an amulet is so tropey anyway. We've seen enough of that over the decades.
Yeah, anyone who's played this game, the Crypt is a series of puzzles. Like, really obscure and cryptic puzzles. Not trying to have a pun there, but I'll take credit for it anyway. So we're just going to say no to it, and we're going to go this way. This is actually going towards Mir's tower. So we're going to do it without the amulet, but first we're going to say hi to my good friend Papyrus. Hi Papyrus, 3, 4, and because I got an extra livestock, he's going to take extra damage. I'm going to move him this... Wow, okay. You are being mean to me. So we're going to move him this way, move up. And I missed it. All right, so we're going to talk to Sans instead.
It didn't work.
No, so I am also a little low on health. I miscounted, so we're going to visit his brother Sans. Hi, Sans. 4. And we're going to do a trick here. Sans, come here. Follow me. Follow me. I was a pixel off, so I'm just going to go here. Wait. And, okay, he needs one more hit. The one thing about the damage counts here is it's sometimes random, and it's usually 1 or 2 off. There we go. There's tree removal.
There it is.
And the item that dropped, you're not supposed to be able to do that, but it drops the magic sword that we skipped earlier in the game. So that's a pretty tricky trick to do. And then we're just going to say hi to the skeleton. I don't have a name for it, but it's dead anyway. So now we're going to try and just do a little bit of a jump here. We're going to try and... We actually need the amulet to get past this whirlwind. But with a little bit of jumping at random places, we can get it. I'm trying to line myself up. This is actually a very tough trick. So I'm going to... And there we go. There
we go. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm here for another hour and a half or so, I think. If all goes well. Trust me, y'all don't want me here more than I need to be.
So yeah, what you saw there were 2 back-to-back tricks that fall under the category of how did you find out without decompiling the entire code of the game. When Erianna took out that skeleton that was on the tree, basically there was a series of glitches that caused a item drop to happen on the tree tile, if I remember correctly, and then that in turn triggered her pickup from later in the game, which happened to be the magic sword of all things.
It's like, yep, that saved a bunch of time. So Yeah, and so we get the magic sword now, and now you can notice that the bar up top is slowly filling up. When it's full, I can swing the sword, and anything that it hits will take double damage with the magic sword. This is the only sword upgrade we're getting in this run. There are 3 other swords. The Thunder Sword, which actually deals triple damage. The Sword of Ice, which can shoot a beam of ice out. Oh my god, please line up. And the Sword of Gaia, which causes an earthquake. We're not going to get any of those. Also, time for the world's hardest jump.
She's not joking. This is the other hard trick in the game. It's weird. The 2 hardest tricks in this game are this innocent little jump and throwing a dog.
Yep. And I've been hitting it fine. I usually can get 2 tricks on it, but this controller that the loader controller that I'm using now is a little bit trickier for me to use, so I apologize for not being a little bit... I'm just giving you more content. There we go, finally.
There we go.
Whew. It's called the world's hardest jump for a reason. All that for a clove of garlic.
To provide a little more context, the controller that Erianna's been running this game on for, I don't know, something like 2 years, decided to bite the dust last night.
Absolutely. Prof Ness opened it up and they said that, something broke on the inside, like physically broke. And I was like, I completely blame Alf and ET because I run both the games using that same controller too. Also, we were running into a mirror version of ourselves who's coincidentally named Miro. He hates garlic. So we just rub it on ourselves and it's like, ew, P.U., I'm out of here. So evidently he's not a fan of Italian food.
Or a vampire.
He could be a vampire too. So I'm going to try to do a trick here. I'm going to heal up with using an e-cake, and I'm going to try and... I actually made it, and then I jumped off. Because mummies. Please. I don't want my mummy. Go away. Okay, I'm going to clear them out, and I'm going to try this again. Again, I'm such a nice girl that I am going to try and do this trick multiple times for you. Even though I'm not There we go. That's not the intended way, but hitboxes are suggestions in this game. That's another tough trick.
Do we do anything the intended way in this game?
No, we're not even supposed to be in this dungeon right now. Not without the amulet, but... Wow, that... Again, hitboxes are suggestions, even in the bad cases, because I was not even close to that. You know, I was not even close to that one either. All right, you know what? This game is great. Perfectly programmed in every way. Nothing exploitable at all.
No nonsensical rooms of just random spike balls just sitting there.
Yeah, just in the teleporter maze. Oh, come on. All right, so missed that jump. So usually if I try and take damage, I'm going to try and turn around before taking damage so that I can be pushed in the direction I'm wanting to go in. That's the ideal strat. Does it always work? No. Why? 1993 Genesis. That's all I'm going to say. So there's a few more puzzles to do here. So we got a little bit of time if you want to say something, Lisa.
Well, thank you very much. I want to talk a little bit about prizes. Did you know that the grand prize is a Nintendo Switch 2 bundle? Amazing. Thank you, RPG Limit Break staff, for providing that prize. Now, how do you qualify? You have to donate a minimum of $200. Not at once. As long as you donate at least $200 throughout the entirety of the marathon, you will qualify to be entered to win that Nintendo Switch 2 bundle. Also, want to clarify, go back to the character earlier when he was at the dance studio. So, character's 80 years old. To look younger disguises to look older.
Even though the person he looks younger than, which actually is based... the joke here is that one of Nigel's rivals in the treasure hunting scene, his name is Pockets, which is... We did see him in Gummy, the second town that we visited. He just kind of showed up and got scared of Nigel and ran off. You're supposed to actually see him quite a few times in this game, but we don't. So we're kind of disguised as... Thank you, Unicorn. I love that hitbox. So the joke is we disguise ourselves as him because he's got a mustache, so definitely an adult.
Got it. Younger adult mustache. Game logic.
So we've been chasing Miro, our doppelganger, up here, and he's just going to show up here, and I'm just going to, wow, he actually fought back. Thank you, Miro. I wouldn't say that's never happened before, but he's been very finicky lately. So we finally reach the top of the tower, and we actually run into Mir the wizard. And he makes Miro disappear, who's basically just a dust doppelganger. And he's like, "Hey, welcome to the tower. What can I do for you?" Friday's like, "No, we know what you're doing to the town, so please just go away. We're gonna fight you." So Mir's like, "Okay, let's fight." Which way you go? Which way you going, Mir? Thank you. There we go. He was just standing still. So we kind of just beat up Mir a little bit, and he says, "Okay, I'll give you the jewel that you know I have, but I'm not the one terrorizing the town. It's actually the Duke of Mercator that's terrorizing the people and taxing them and doing all that." Then, spoiler alert, Mir and the Duke are brothers. So, so he's got first-hand experience of how family can be sometimes. So we're gonna go see the Duke now and say, "Hey, why did you tell us to go here when you actually didn't tell us to go anywhere? Because we never met you in our lives." Because reasons. So we're gonna just, walk very confidently. We have purpose. Look at that walk. We are mad.
So speaking of that small little bag on his back, there is a cap on e-geeks you can carry, right? And that's 9?
Yes, which I am at, which I won't be for long, like that. It's okay. I'm gonna have as many as possible, even though if I'm doing like PB attempts, I'm going to keep as little as possible. But I want to finish this run. And I'm going to be doing a lot of safeties. I'm also going to pick up an item called the healing boots later, which they do as you would think they would. They heal you as you walk. But that's a little bit later, so we still need a bunch of e-geeks in the meantime. So we are finally going to accept our invite to the castle, because at this point the game's like, all right, you've visited Mir. We can. The flag is flipped to say, yeah, let's go ahead and talk to the Duke now. So when we go back, we're going to go right into the castle, and we're greeted by, I'm going to call him Giles, is the butler, which this guy's name actually should be Nigel, because Nigel is the name of a butler, I think.
Well, if the nanny...
Butler, middle manager from a sitcom, whatever.
Yes. So here's the Duke, and he's like, "Thank you for defeating Mir and bringing the jewels. Guards, take him." He's like, "Oh, you look so sad. How about I bring you a beautiful woman to kind of, put a smile on your face?" And so it's Kayla, Wally, and Ink. And she's like, "Yeah, we're joining forces with the Duke. He promised us half the King Nole's treasure," and bragging about it. And then the Duke just pulls the rug out from under her. Literally. And the Duke's like, "Haha, you think I'm going to split the treasure?" So the Duke takes the red and purple jewels that we got and throws us into the dungeon. And again, no fall damage. We're just going to walk away like nothing happened.
It's those boots right there.
It is. Those boots are made for falling. And I don't know how Kayla, Wally, and Ink got into this predicament, but they just got a ball that just continually just drops on their head. Wait.
Well, thankfully that one's also made of cotton and not actually hurting them, so hey.
Yeah, I'm sure we won't see them again. Come on, get up there, thank you. So, the dungeon is a pretty simple dungeon to go through. Wow, a dungeon is a dungeon. This is the Mercator dungeon. There's a few skips and there's a few cool platforming things to do here. So we got a little timer button here that opens the door. We're just going to damage boost on that, go through it, and cut right through.
It is very nice of the people who made this dungeon to provide a way out that works specifically for you and nobody else.
Absolutely. It's like, just throw him in. Everyone else gets locked in there. That guy there that we just quote-unquote rescue, we're not even talking to him. I'm sure we're not going to see him later. Oh, I made that jump. I can't believe it. I never make that jump.
Heck yeah.
It saves like a half a second or something like that, but I made it. Can I get a pity applause for that one? Woo, thank you. Oh, I'm tired.
You can't see it, but I am also clapping.
I believe you. Just like I believe in Joe Hendry. All right, so we're coming up to the final climb of the dungeon. I'm not trying to get too much more gold because I'm actually at a nice number. Oh, too late. No longer at a nice number. Oh, gosh darn it.
You had to do it.
I had to
do it.
I
just had to.
I had to spoil it. So, yeah, we're coming up on the end of this dungeon. We've got a few fights to do. Just gonna kind of do a little... The combat in this game is actually pretty tight. I haven't talked a lot about it because it's very... It may look like it's simple because you literally just do one button press and there's nothing more special to it than that. But Nigel has a really wide swing. Wow. Oh, I'm full on e-geeks. You know what? I'm just gonna take this time, heal, and grab this one. Jump up, get around that corner, and boof, there we go. Did I just say boof?
Yeah, so this game is... You did say boof. No, this game is very tricky. But even with technical issues, like, Erianna's making this game look easier than it is, because she's just that good at it.
I try to be. I don't claim to be a pro at this game, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express once, and a Hilton Garden Inn, by the way. So I claim to be better than I probably am. All right. This is...
All right, let's go quickly look at the board right quick. Oh, yep, you're number 3 in the world. Okay.
So far, 3 out of, what, 4, 5? I'll still accept it.
I think there's like...
A bronze is a bronze.
10, if I remember correctly.
So we finally reached the top of this tower, and this is also one of the Duke's guards that he hired. His name is Zach, and this is Princess Lara, who is from the same country that Nigel's from. And Lara's like, "Oh, cool, my prince has come to rescue me." And then Zach's like, "No, I'm just gonna take you as collateral, so I can kind of ransom off you to the Duke." And he just flies off with grabbing her by the hair, and she's like, this is so much fun. Are you licensed by the Federal Aviation Authority or anything like that?" And it's like, we love her, but she's also like, yeah. Also, the guards are replaced by children now.
Yeah, thankfully the princess doesn't take hair damage.
No. And I'm sure we're never going to see her again either. So, the Duke,
right.
The story goes now, the Duke is off to get the rest of the jewels. He wants the treasure. So he's got a bit of a head start on us. And so what he does is he breaks the lighthouse. So no ships can come out of port now. So we have to go to this place called Green Maze and get an item called the Sunstone to repair the lighthouse. Anyone who's played this game casually, this is where you are going to lose a lot of patience, because Green Maze is not easy.
Yeah, everyone loves Green Maze Zone.
You're referencing Sonic again. Green Maze Zone, I love it.
Always.
I know you be that big Sonic fan. So we're taking out those 2 wizards there because that spawns a chest up there. And again, I will grab as many lifestocks as I can while still not going too far out of my way.
But for real, though, we talk about a Green Maze Zone being a wall for players, and it's partly because there's a lot of isometric puzzles in this game, but like half of them are in this singular area. This is all like isometric, going through mazes, weird jumps behind trees you can't see, all sorts of just like stuff you can't see. This is definitely hint tip line bait. This is where they expect you to call for $5.99 a minute to talk to some professional, to talk you through the game.
That Sega hotline, I remember my parents using it. I don't think I can actually do this jump. Oh, I actually did it. Wow. I could not do that in practice with this controller. Also, this is Einstein. He's a dog. We're going to heal him because we're good people. Hi, Einstein. You happy dog now.
Yay, dog.
We save the animals here.
The tip line?
My father called the tip line on Phantasy Star 1, which that that was a game that required tip line back in the 80s.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But so we rescued Einstein, and we're talking to his owner, the lumberjack here, and he knows us by name and like, "Hey, are you one of the Dukes?" He's like, "No, the dog told me." And like, "What?" So he gives us an item called the Einstein whistle, and that allows us to talk to dogs. And more importantly, it also allows us to open up Dog Dungeon. So yes, we are on our path to the greatest dungeon of all time. And we will explain that further as I go along. But we actually do need the Einstein's whistle to actually get the Sunstone. So that is required. Of course, just being a knight, we don't like rescuing people in this game, but we will rescue the dog. Because there's no bad dogs, only good dogs and great dogs. It's like if I can't get a good dog toss in the game, I will say, even if it's like really, really bad, I will say that was a good dog. If it was a really good run, toss for it, I will say that was a great dog. Only great and good, no bad.
So we're still in Green Maze. Again, more isometric. It's also just pretty chunky in terms of length too. Like, it's just a lot to it. A lot of like blindly walking around. Like, how are you supposed to see half these trails, right?
Yeah, there's some gnomes that are around that kind of just, you know, they trick you quite a bit. Grabbing a livestock and an item called a doll here, which is a full heal. Let's see if I can get this jump real quick coming up. This is pretty tight. Got it.
Oh, nice.
It saves a little bit of time. It's just for a cycle, but that is a very tough trick. Also, I don't know how they got out of the dungeon, but they're going to be lost in this maze forever. Unfortunately, I did not sing the drink water song, because every time they show up, I drink water. Drink water, drink water. But that's my cue to remember to actually have a drink, which I'm not doing here.
Stay hydrated, chat.
Stay hydrated. Hydrate or dihydrate. That's how it goes. All right, so because I am smart and I have played this game a million times, I know where to go, because Green Maze you're going to get lost in a lot. There's actually a hidden door behind that waterfall too, which leads to just an extra livestock. But we're actually almost done with Green Maze, thankfully, because, again, no one likes this dungeon. And you'll see why no one likes it in a minute.
I think we already saw that.
Oh, there's more as the reasons why. And especially be like, how do you know? How are you supposed to know that? Especially in this room here. Try and get some corner jumps going. Corner jumps are really tricky. Now watch where I have to go. Like right here. Like right here, thank you. Like, how are you supposed to know that's there? Isometrics.
Oh, that is intense.
Yep.
So I see you're still collecting money. Is there a further shopping goal that you're hoping to achieve?
Normally I'm supposed to get 2 more livestocks that I buy, so I would like 600 by the time, but because I picked up extra livestocks, I'm only going to look for at least 300. Also, we're using the Einstein's whistle, which I'm going to translate it. It says trans rights. Can I get a trans rights from everybody? Thank you. Thank you. So there are trees that unfortunately we can't cut through with tree removal glitch. So we actually need a lumberjack to help us with that. So we play Einstein's whistle. Einstein hears it and says, okay, Nigel's in trouble. Let's go do it. And the lumberjack's going to cut these trees down. I'm sure we're never going to see them again.
That's such an inefficient way.
Yep.
That's such an inefficient way of cutting down trees.
It is. And there's the sunstone. Normally we'd go back through Green Maze, but because we're doing Dog Dungeon, we're taking this detour. So we get extra content because of everyone's generous donations. So we do have a couple minutes while I am just going through here on my way. This actually will take me back to the first town. And this way, Ari. So if you got anything to say, Lisa, rock it out.
I have lots of things to say. Well, depends on your definition of lock.
Rocks it out, I should say.
Yes. Hey all, it's Lisa Rocks, your host here. I have a $50 donation from Quiz for my dear Ari. So glad you are here. We are so glad you are here.
Aww.
I just want to bring up. Oh, I just want to bring up there's some prizes that you are eligible for if you donate before the end of this run. We have the Chain Chomp plush, a minimum $5 donation donated by Ghost Kumo. We have a Final Fantasy VIII wooden case replica. That's a minimum $25 donation provided by Pigmented. Live Alive PC key, minimum $5 donation provided by Possum Coffee. Shy Guy tabletop miniature, and that's a minimum $15 donation provided by Mr. Dean. And
I could not do that again if I tried. I'm supposed to talk to the dog. So
you saw it here first, friends. Yes. And the final prize I wanted to shout out was the Super Mario locking storage box, and that's a minimum $5 donation provided by Heroic Spirit Gamer. Thank you so much for your prize donations. Back to you, LadyErianna.
I just wanted to talk to the dog, and it just jumped into my arms. What can I say? I have that way with dogs. So that was the dog that we picked up earlier in the game, and her name's Belle. And we actually could talk to her because we have Einstein's whistle now, and talking to her opens up Dog Dungeon, and she says, yeah, there's an evil witch that turned both me and my boyfriend into dogs. Could you deal with her? And because of all your donations, we're going to say yes, because we're going to, save the dogs. We're going to defeat evil. We're going to be nice people for once. But in the meantime, we're going to just buy an extra... we're going to buy an extra livestock here. I am 1 gold short of an extra gold statue, though. 1. That's okay. We don't need it. So we got the Sunstone now. We've come back here to repair the Sunstone. To repair the lighthouse. So we're going to just climb the lighthouse up here because Needlessly Winding Stairs is the name of this game. We're going to jump up here, and we're just going to try and move over here. And old man says, oh my god, it's a sunstone. We can fix this. And he's like, thank you very much. And we're just going to, do our best and jump right through him. Because, again, hitboxes sometimes are just suggestions. Grabbing extra livestock, and we're just going to fall down. And this poor kid at the bottom is we're just gonna land right on top of him. And he's not gonna mind because, again, everyone's head is like encased in like a hard hat. No one cares. You can stand on everything.
No fall damage goes both ways.
It does. Actually, I do want to grab an extra gold statue because the way things have been going lately, I want to be on the safe side. So, Emily, can you clarify what gold statues are?
It's a full heal.
That's a doll. The gold statues. The gold statues keeps my charge bar full.
Right, and then all your attacks do double damage for a hot minute.
Yes. So quizzing my best friend on live stream. Yes, let's go. I am mean. I mean, I'm such a nice, wonderful person. Everyone loves me.
Hey, you gave the materials. This is on me.
I did give the material, but no. So gold statues, when you use them, you have a brief amount of time in which the bar is completely full and swinging your sword does not drain it. This means that you can string together a bunch of attacks that deal extra damage, as Emily was saying. These are important later on, especially for some later bosses, because we are underpowered. Because the game at this point expects us to have a much higher... Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? I just forgot. Completely. We're going to Dog Dungeon now. But I'm giving everyone bonus content. We're... Fair. I'm going to claim that one's on me. I got distracted by talking about gold statues. I forgot we're doing Dog Dungeon. So, I hope everyone's ready for the greatest dungeon of all time.
I'm ready.
Yes, let's do this. As I'm going to walk through the swamp, take some extra damage. Boop. I just said boop while picking up a jar. Also, jars can be broken in this game. Again, not inspired by Zelda at all. Unfortunately, we just can't.
At least we're not doing that bit. At least we're not doing that bit this time where you're trying to tell me that this game inspired Zelda 1, even though it was released, 5-6 years afterwards?
I tried, but we also have Newtopia being run later, run by the wonderful Von Yvonne. Definitely don't want to miss that run either. Newtopia totally inspired this game too. So we're at the witch's hut, and the dog Marty says, no, run away, the witch is going to curse you. And we are now dog. So welcome to Dog Dungeon, and we are the happiest dog in the world.
I'm still trying to see what the curse is.
You're right. It's like, I wish we could just finish the game like this, but unfortunately we can't slash, we can't access our inventory. We can only be dog and solve puzzles. Which again, I don't see the problem.
We can only be dog.
Only be dog.
Only be dog.
Look at how happy the dog is.
I know, it's the happiest dog in all of video gaming. So the Dog Dungeon consists of a few puzzles and platforming sections. This one's just a button puzzle. And what it does is just unlocks the next portion of it. And it's a really simple dungeon. As dog, we also don't take damage because dogs are God. As we've proven by throwing a dog already. They just get tossed and seem happy. This next room, though, called the ballroom, is very tricky. And I'm going to try to make it look easy, but... And... Bingo, there we go.
That did look easy.
That's a very tricky thing. The buttons only stay on for a short amount of time after you press them, and you need to do it really quick. So that's one of the harder things to do. There are some other tricks to kind of move the balls together, I just have them go in one loop, and it makes it a little bit easier, but that's time consuming. And it's like, this dog is special. He's fearless, just going for it. But that is probably the hardest trick in Dog Dungeon, although this is basically like a bunch of extra world's hardest jumps, but not nearly as bad. Okay, phew, I actually got it. Again, more timed button puzzles, and dogs like, yeah, I had no problem doing this. Anyone who owns a dog...
Comes with that.
Anyone who owns a dog... Can your dog do this? And also, anyone who has a dog, donate your dog's name, because I love hearing dogs' names. There's so many cool ones. Cat names too.
Emotes, throw those dog emotes in the chat, yo.
Yes. Cat names too. Like, I have one cat whose name is Sir Lord General Admiral Nacho Taco Cat Barrington III, Esquire the First, Duke of Belgium and or Brussels.
Is that on the birth certificate?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow, that's a lot of names to fit.
He absolutely was. We call him Taco for short. He's orange. He has one brain cell. And he is the most hidden cat of all times. Even Emily thinks every time I show a picture of him, that it's AI generated. Yeah, I mean, you saw Laurel.
Yeah,
Laurel was friend.
Yeah, Laurel's real.
Maik was real?
Maik is real. But yeah, no, I was in your house for days, and I didn't see Taco, so I don't think Taco's real.
So we found the witch, and she paralyzes us, and she's like, I'm going to hit this button and destroy you, and she hits the wrong button. And she's gone, and we are no longer dog. Sad. But my question is, what villain sets up a button to self-destruct themselves too?
It was the 90s. It was the trend at the time. There was Eggman. Arguably Wily does it too. Bowser did it. Like,
you know, you're not wrong. Helga the Witch here just does it too. People, anyone who's watching this or ever played Landstalker knows, don't take this game seriously. This is a very whimsical game. A lot of fun. The story is... we're explaining the lore as best as we can. It's just silly. And now we can actually continue with our journey, and oh my god, the swamp's gonna damage me. Please, thank you. As you can see, I'm kind of trying to turn around before taking damage boosts. EQ count's a little low, so I'm a little nervous, but I should be fine. Excuse me. So we are finally back on track. The lighthouse has been restored, the ships are sailing off again, and we can finally chase after the Duke. He definitely detoured us a little bit. He's going to be quite a few steps ahead of us. But we still got a moment or two before, I'd say a quick moment before I need to chat up again. So Lisa, hi.
Hi, it's me. It's Lisa Rocks. I have $25 from Arborealia. Good morning, Ariana. I've enjoyed waking up to this run of needlessly winding stairs for the Sega Genesis, and I am ready for the greatest dungeon of all time. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to go ahead and buy a couple of E-Keys here. They're actually cheaper here. He's got 3 for sale. I only want to buy 2. The reason being is I could buy that last one, and I actually don't need to do this, but I'm just going to steal it. And I'm just going to jump on this guy's head and get over him. And speaking of jumping on people's heads, we're on the ship now, and he's like, well, you repaired the lighthouse. We're going to get you going. We're getting some cool overworld music change, and we're sailing to our next destination. And I love the music, the second overworld music in this game. The soundtrack is so awesome. At the same time, I'm also doing a button command here, and we're just going to end up on the captain's head. Just reasons.
By your toes. By your toes, not even like standing there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, that is a very nice world map, and it's a shame we're never going to see it again.
Yep. You can actually view the world map at the ends. And it shows you where you are. Also a hidden livestock, because this is where the isometrics really like, hey, there's stuff behind here. Maybe you should check it. So the story is here, the Duke came around to the town of Verla and kidnapped all the people and sent them to work in the mines because, and they're not even all dwarves. So we're supposed to go and rescue them. Do you think we're going to do that?
Is this another quiz? Do I have to know the answer to this?
This is actually one instance where we're like, we're going to just let the people rot. We're treasure hunters. We're not heroes. So we're going to do like one little detour here. Drop this box here. No, that is not the damage I wanted to take. That is not the droid I'm looking for. All right, that did not work out as planned. That's okay. Take a damage boost there, jump there. That's totally the intended way of doing this puzzle, by the way. Grabbing another life stock and an e-geek up there, and we're going to just backtrack a little bit. So the Verla mines are actually quite a large dungeon, and there's 3 bosses here to fight. However, we're just going to get in this Orc's hitbox and just walk right through that. We're supposed to finish the dungeon in order to do it, and it's like, I'm sorry, people of Verla, there's a treasure to be found, and we're already a million steps behind. So, also, Quagmire, please, Quagmire, no. I call him Quagmire because those worms, their face looks like Quagmire from Family Guy. I mean, when you see it, you can't unsee it.
I cannot unsee it now.
You're welcome. So we skipped the Verla mines. In all equipment, we do that dungeon. I do like the Verla mines as a dungeon. Swag jump, swag jump, swag jump. We got it.
Nice.
It saves no time. It's just like, it's what the kids today call swag. I think that's what it's called.
Wait, do we still say swag?
I
don't know. This is
No,
2025. All right, this is mushroom heck, and but the gray mushrooms are very dangerous. I actually have been soft locked by these mushrooms because they can either poison you, they can paralyze you, confuse you, they can hit you with every status. So we're gonna just try to get around them. Please, please, please. Thank you. Okay, we're fine. Mushroom heck it's heck. So we're in the town of Destil now. The Duke has come through here. He's on his way to the Lake Shrine for the last jewel. But first we want this guy's treasure, so we're just going to stand here, kick him in the head until he submits and lets us have it.
Again, like, how do you figure this out without a tip line?
I don't have a clue, but he moves eventually. I'm actually going to go ahead and buy this e-geek for safety because I'm not feeling overly confident in my damage boosting abilities right now, so I'm going to take the safety. I got money. I might as well spend it. Oh, Thomas got in my way again. He always gets in my way. I call him Thomas. I don't know why. It was the first name that popped in my head.
So when you get angry, you go straight to Thomas. That's good to know.
I don't know why either. But this part here, we're chasing the Duke. He is on his way to the Lake Shrine. And he's bought all the rafts from the raft guy, and he's just sitting in his chair. Just like, hi, how you doing? I'm going to the shrine. I bought all the rafts so you conveniently cannot follow me.
There's a number of things wrong, okay? There's no safety gear. He's not strapped to that raft in any way, shape, or form. And when it comes to take off, he moves in the literal opposite direction of the current. Like, what's going on here?
I mean, come on. We stood at the back of a giant bird with no safety equipment at the beginning of the game. Safety is the least concern of everybody. I mean, you've seen how hard everyone's head is. I jumped on a child's head from a 3-story drop, and he just shook it off like no big deal.
It was the 90s. It was a different time.
It was a very different time. Also, no one likes the Duke either. He's a jerk, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm miles ahead of you at this point. And so we need to get to the Lake Shrine. But all the rafts are sold. We're going to grab this doll back here, and if we turn around, there's a livestock right behind it. Again, how are you supposed to know that? This is where the game gets frustrating for many people. But thankfully, I'm playing it so no one else has to. Much like when I play Alf. I do it so no one else has to.
Okay, but like, real talk, this is a good game.
It is. It's a classic.
It just has... It just has a couple of weirdly hidden things. Otherwise, it's a fantastic game, top to bottom.
Yes, it's probably one of my favorite games on the Genesis/Mega Drive. So then we're back to Destil. I gotta go this way. Please, Thomas, get out of my way. Thank you, Thomas. Actually, listen this time. And we're gonna get to the Lake Shrine the best way possible. We're going to the sewers because what Genesis game is complete without having a sewer level? Excuse me. So this is the Destil well. This is a very frightening dungeon for platforming because one fall and you are at the very bottom and have to do it all over again. All right, we're coming up on the Kobe room, as I call it. I'll explain why in a minute. We're going to kill these here. Lag, orange bubbles. Did not drop a gold statue, unfortunately. Going to plop that here, plop that there. And these are very, very tight holes to jump into. Kobe, Kobe, and Kobe. And that gets us a key. So yeah, Destal Well is very, very scary. There's some really tight platforming, even worse than Thieves' Hideout. And I'm hoping the Thieves' Hideout is not an indication of how my platforming is going to be here. But if it is, it's extra content. I'm giving you more... Eri, wait for the platform to arrive. I know it's like really early in the morning, but you got this, girl. Gotta just
you do. You totally have this.
And yeah, some of these jumps look really scary because there's a big gap. Gonna do a little corner jump over here. Gonna take that, and there we go. So we're not quite over.
Some of these jumps look scary. Some of these jumps look scary because they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Hoping these specters don't like teleport right in front of me, because that happens. Okay, no pit of shame today. Yet. Oh, come on, Spectre, please. All right, so just one more screen of scary platform. Wow, that controller just gave up on me. I am going to wait that cycle out because I was going to miss that. Yeah, the controller just said, yeah, I want to go this way instead. It's like a teenager. It's like, no, I want to go this way. So the controller just does what it does. Also, again, doors are suggestions. And we're going to do something called Sneaky Step. I'm going to get right on the edge and jump over the loading trigger there. And just jump back on it. The door closes, and I'm safe. Got to defeat the skeletons here. There's a couple. We got to do one more of those. And at least in this dungeon, I think there is one more spot where I use a sneaky step, which is basically getting on as few pixels as possible. This one is very important. I don't hit the loading trigger because the enemies here are really tough to kill. There we go. So sneaky step successful because it's sneaky. This one's not nearly as... Oh my god, he just ran right... Did you see that? He's like, hi, Eri, I want to give you a hug.
Too friendly.
Spawn camped you like it was Call of Duty.
I know, right? It's like, listen, I love hugs as much as the next person. If you're going to hug me, please don't be carrying a club, too. Unless it's a club sandwich. In which case, I'm like, yes, please.
Club sandwich, not seals.
I am Chalky Girl for a reason. Club sandwich is wonderful. All right, so this is the pot... This is the pot room. And so we need to pick up this pot and just move it. And we actually need these enemies to follow us because this button won't stay locked on for that platform. And there we go. And using up all the keys, we actually have 5 in accumulation now. And we're actually almost done with this dungeon. There's an optional boss up ahead. Oh my god, he just sniped me. What is with this sniping today? We can skip this boss in any percent run I normally do, but for safety, I'm just going to stand here and just hit him a few times. No, 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 no. Get back, say. No, no. I said no. Don't you listen to me? There we go. There we go. So that was that boss. He dropped some healing boots. Healing boots are, again, optional. I don't usually do them in PB attempts these days, but for safety purposes, we're going to equip them. And also flashing screen warning for healing. There we go.
Yeah. Speaking of healing, the healing boots recover 1 health every 35 steps.
Give or take a little bit. It's hard to really count steps given that walk animation. Because listen, that's the most confident walk in all of video gaming. Let's not kid ourselves here. All right.
Fair.
All right, so we got a room coming up with 2 life stocks in it. I'm gonna try and get both of them, but it's gonna depend on how these specters cooperate, because they don't want to cooperate half the time. Grabbing this one. You are not going to really cooperate, are you? Oh, no. All right, we're going to try it the old-fashioned way. I can usually jump across there, and this is totally intended, too. By totally intended, I mean not at all. Come here. There we go. That's a tough trick, by the way, because you need them to cooperate. You're not supposed to get that chest until after you get to the mountainous area, which is a few levels ahead. So being able to just jump up there is really cool. And we get that extra life stock. So it looks like we're gonna end with 60, which is 1 above normally.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. So we're finally getting over to the Lake Shrine. I don't have full E-Geeks, and I don't want full E-Geeks right now, and I'll explain why once we get to the Lake Shrine. So we're very close to it. We're another healing flash coming up, so brace yourselves. Excuse me. Thank you. So the items we're picking up here are called Statues of Gaia. We use them, and it creates an earthquake on the screen, and we're going to use one now because that's actually the only way to advance. And how are you supposed to know this? There's a very vague plaque that if you read it, it says, if you're a mover and a shaker, find the goddess and wake her. I'm like, how am I supposed to find that out? So you use the statue. So we're at Lake Shrine. And also, these are the Duke's guards. I'm sure we're never going to see them again.
Okay, so you're telling me, like, I'm playing this platform where now I have to, like, interpret a poetry slam? Like, what's going on here?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of... I mean, if you did the crypt, there's a lot of poetry there, too. So Lake Shrine's one of the bigger dungeons in the game as well. And we're going to just skip this door here, get into their hitbox, and wow. This golem here is going to give his best Final Fantasy victory pose animation, and we're just going to let him do that for a little bit. Everyone give your best Final Fantasy victory pose animation. Let's go. So this button that appears is on a timer, and so I'm just going to wait it out. And wow, there it finally showed up. It showed up later than it normally does. Okay, this is fine. It's a tricky this is actually a very tricky spot right here. It may take me a couple attempts. I can get it first try, and I have before, but there we go. The hitboxes on the top of the golems are not quite there. So that was another heart contain. Wow, I am crossing my Landstalker and my Zelda now. Who knew I could do that in this game? So the reason I don't have full E-Geeks is because I get some free ones here. And I'm going to pick up all of them to have full. But I want that last one there because it lines me up perfect for this next skip. Which I just jump on this pot and jump over the door. So I skipped a good portion of the dungeon just by doing that. Anyone who's done Lake Shrine knows this is a very, very long dungeon, very back and forth. Another livestock. And we're actually almost to the end of the dungeon already. We're going to go through here. We're going to say hi to Quagmire again. Quagmire, get back here. Oh my god.
Giggity.
Giggity.
Yes. This is one of the most fun rooms in the game right here.
Okay, can the golems cooperate? I want to grab this chest, and of course I'm not going to. They're going to knock me... No. All right, I'm going to do it on the way back. It's very... it's near pixel perfect to try and get that. I don't know if it actually is, but I'm saying it anyway because it sounds cool. So we're going to do this the other way, which is golems. Oh my god. I need to get that chest. I don't necessarily need to. I'm dead. And by dead, I mean, like, I'm just going to revive. Yay, I'm alive. And just jump on their head and get up there. Totally intended way. There we go. All right, now I need the 3 Quagmires here to cooperate. So I got to follow them into this pit. There are some hidden buttons here. Quagmire, hey, get over here. Follow me. Just getting the enemies to just obey is just not easy to do. Where's the last? Okay, there's the last one. Sometimes 2 can get in the same box, and then that just ruins everything. Get over here. Thank you. You are not in the right spot. There we go. You are also not. He's in a freeze animation. Come here. You know what? I'm gonna hit him anyway. It worked anyway. Okay, we're fine. So it opens that door, which is actually what we need to do. This is actually the intended solution. And it grabs the livestock, and we're actually very close to the boss here. In order to do that, we're gonna damage boost here, jump up, and there we go. Totally intended. And there's the Duke. And we're actually going to fight the Duke.
Yes, the epic showdown.
Yep. He's like, I can't believe you found me. I'm not going to let you have the jewels. And we just beat him up a little bit. Let that chest fall on our head because, again, no damage. The Duke says that the middle chest contains the jewels. However, if we go to try and open that chest normally, Zack shows up and just one-shots us. But if you actually come back to this dungeon, there's a livestock in there. So the reason we actually ran and had that left chest land on our head is that so we could open up that chest and get the livestock now without having to come back to it. We're dead technically, but Mir revives us, teleports us out, and he gives us an item called Axe Magic. Which that is the intended way to remove these trees. As you remember earlier, I did the tree removal glitch. But with Axe Magic, I actually can remove them. Now I'm one-shotting these.
I do love that it's Axe Magic and not just like an axe.
Yep, it's like gotta keep on the theme with the sword. Okay, didn't do that. But we got healing boots now. We have a lot of healing. I'm in a much safer situation. I'm going to take a small detour up ahead to get an extra gold statue. Again, just for safety purposes. Because sometimes the bosses just don't want to cooperate. There's like 3 bosses that I actually give the troll label to coming up. And they are very much trolls. But at the same time, I also really want a quick kill on the next boss. So I did buy the extra gold statue. I picked up an extra one that I don't normally do. But we're on our way back to Green Maze now. Got a little bit of walking, so Lisa, hi, my friend.
Hello, friend.
I like friends.
Yay, friendos.
Friendos.
We have a $5 donation from Leggy Starscream. Wait, this game is a poison swamp? Is this a Dark Souls? Good luck, Ari and Emily. You're crushing it.
This Landstalker is the Dark Souls of Landstalker. Just gonna say.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Thank you, Leggy. All right, so we are going back to. I'll give you half one. I can't hold up my other hand right now. So we can remove those trees now with Axe Magic, and we're going to an area called the Mountainous Area, which I bet you can't guess what's in the Mountainous Area. Any guesses?
Prairies?
Yes, exactly, prairies. And we got forests too. But if you said mountains, you win something. I don't know why. Also, there's a livestock right here.
You win a congratulations from me, your host. Lisa
Yes.
Rocks.
A name so awesome, you had 3 rocks in there.
Indeed.
Yes. Lisa's awesome. Good friend. Shout outs to everybody here. Shout outs to Emily, who's never run this game, but learned enough of it to get to come banter with me and have some fun. And Lisa on comms, this has been such a fun run so far. We're kind of in the final stretch of the game, and I don't want it to end, but there's so much more fun that you're all gonna have coming right up. And I last sat in this chair 6 years ago, pre-transition, running Phantasy Star, and I love that game too, but I don't like looking back on it and seeing pre-transition Ari. I look 100% better. I mean, anyone who's actually seen pre-transition me is like, that's one heck of a glow up you got there, Ari. I'm like, yay, thank you.
That glow up is real.
The glow up, yes. Estrogen is a wonderful drug.
I can't believe it's been 6 years. Stop.
I know, 6 years. I'm so it's saved my life, and I know there's a lot of other people in my shoes, trans people, my non-binary friends. It's like you live your life, you live your best truth, and it's relieving. And it's been the most wonderful thing. Also, Zach. Hi, Zach. I should be talking about that. He wants to fight us on this bridge, and Friday's like, you're a bully. Let's do this in a fair fight. And Zach's like, okay. So we climb this mountain here, and Zach's going to be waiting for us. If I can make it this platforming jump. So Zach's like, hi, is this fair for you? And we're like, okay, yes it is. But we're gonna actually cheat. And we're gonna use a gold statue. And we're gonna die because hitboxes.
That's more of a Zach Morris type of action there, I think.
And so there we go. Quick kill on Zach with the gold statue. He's like just burning right now. And he just flies off in a pile of at a ball of fire. I'm sure we're never going to see him again either. But he gives us an item called the Goal Eye, which lets us get to the treasures of King Nole.
Also, shout outs to any percent for taking a route where you don't get any armor for most of the run, and everything hits you like a truck.
Oh yeah, everything hits like a truck right now. There is armor upgrades in this game, if you can believe it. Armor and sword upgrades. Also, we're back. So the dungeon looks a little bit different now. We actually now have to kill these 4 wizards that show up. And there we go, to open the door. So this is the same dungeon that we had in the tutorial, but now it's a little bit more dangerous. Coming up on the Piccolo room, dodge. There we go, we're good. I call it the Piccolo room because you need to dodge. Shout outs to DBZ Abridged, anyone who knows that reference. So just basically going through the same steps as before. We're gonna pick this. Wow, that's never happened.
That was...
I didn't. It's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw it behind me. I was gonna shout Kobe for a minute, but that's definitely Shaq. That was not a Kobe.
Ooh, that's a burn.
Yeah, that was
Sorry,
a Shaq
Shaq.
free throw right there.
Sorry, Shaq. Please don't hurt me.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he knows about his free throw percentage too. Don't worry about it.
So this dungeon, this part here is where the boulder chase. The door is now open, and the boulder's now there to let us get to this chest, which just has a livestock. So we actually can advance right now. Try and get through here, and just face plant because why not? No fall damage. We just got hit by these lizard men. Please let me through. Thank you. This dungeon's almost done, and we're coming up on our final 2. Oh, come on. Let me through. The lag is... I said please let me through. I'm being nice. Come on, I'm saying please. So we're going to get these golems over here and just get in their hitbox and walk right through. And hello, it's the Duke. He's mad. He's got all the jewels, but he says, you can't catch me now. As soon as we sing the Song of Power to let us open the teleporter, I'm going to get through. The Princess Lara refuses to sing it, and then the Duke threatens to throw a spider down her dress. And so she sings it, which I believe is Inagata Devita. Also, flashing screen warning. Big one.
Oh, yeah. Big flashing here. There's like the flashing before the flashing.
Yep,
and then
even I'm going to look away from it, because this one is harsh. And there's going to be another one after, because I have to enter that as well. But so Princess Lara is free, and she's like, oh, my prince, you've rescued me. It's so awesome. I love you so much. We should run away, get married together. Yeah, so much. It's like, please, just let me go. Friday's like, please, Nigel didn't rescue you. It just happened. You were there. And they kind of get into a fight. But Friday should learn that everyone's head is solid here, so jumping on their head like Mario isn't going to solve anything. And so Lara's like, but I really, really want to be rescued by a prince. And they're like, no, he's just here for the treasures. But thank you anyway. So, bye, Lara. It was fun making fun of you for a little bit. All right, flashing screen again. But we are on to the final 2 dungeons of the game. King Nole's Labyrinth and King Nole's Palace. And King Nole's Labyrinth is the largest dungeon in the game. But it's got one of the best tracks in the game.
As a final dungeon should, really.
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of damage boosting early, so I think what I'm actually going to do right now, I'm going to take a safety save. I do have enough e-geeks, and I am 95% confident in my ability to finish this, but I do want to take a safety save, because if something goes wrong, and it's very possible, because the last time I practiced, I lost 5 e-geeks just getting through the first 2 door skips. And that got really scary. I hit cancel as if I don't want to start anymore. You know what? Extra content. We're seeing the load screen again. Hi.
That is a nice load screen. I'm glad you showed that again.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm just that
real
nice.
Though, that is it's a wonderful font for the game there, yes. For the game title.
It is. I'm just that nice, giving you extra content. I'm the nicest person you'll ever meet. If you don't believe me, just ask me. I am the nicest.
Yeah, she even shouted me out earlier for knowing enough. Very high praise.
I love you, Emily. You're awesome.
I love you too.
All right, so we're at King Nole's Labyrinth. We're gonna say hi to this bubble here. Please come here. And he's not cooperating, but he did damage boost us through the door, which is enough. So
you got like Jazzy Jeffed by a bubble.
I did. I want this in my way. Okay, that works. It's not ideal, but it works. And so we're gonna do it one more time. just need to get over here. Orcs, please. Okay. Not ideal, but it works.
3 for 3, just like Uncle Phil's just like tossing you out over and over again.
Yeah. All right. So now we got some dark rooms, which thankfully the brightness is high enough to see this, because you're actually supposed to get a lantern to see parts of these dungeons. And I am not comfortable with my health. I'm going to take the heal of shame. I am shamed. I'm sorry, everyone. All right, so let's take the spike ball elevator. I say let's take the spike ball elevator. It's like, imagine having broken elevators. All right, Kobe, there we go. I'm tempted to ride the spike ball like that, but when you have the option, when in Nole's Labyrinth, you become Nole's Labyrinth. Wait, is that what I meant to say? I don't even know anymore. You could tell I'm getting a little loopy. So we're actually going to use our last keys in this dungeon that we carried everywhere to keep us from having to do a lot of the dungeon. Corner jumps. If I fall in that pit, I don't like that. I've fallen down it exactly once, and during practice, I'm like, how do I get out of this pit? And I eventually figured it out after like 5 minutes. So I hope I don't have to do that again. I'm going to let the music play for a little bit while I kill a bunch of skeletons, because this music is just awesome.
That was a sick guitar solo back in there.
Using a statue Gaia here because there is a statue that needs to be destroyed, and you're supposed to destroy it with either the Sword of Ice or the Sword of Gaia. Neither of which we have. But if you have a statue of Gaia, you can accomplish the same thing to destroy the statue. However, you have to actually jump at that spot. If you don't try and use it, you lose a statue of Gaia, and then it becomes like, where do I find an extra statue? Or I have to backtrack and find the Sword of Gaia, and that's going to eat up a lot of time. So there's also a button I have to press before I leave this room. Please don't let me forget, because that will basically be the same problem. This is where you say, Ari, push the button.
Push the button, Ari.
Thank you.
I don't know. I was like, I don't know how long this room is. When do I remind you?
Now. It's like, when will then be now? Soon.
Did you push the button?
I did push the button. I'm going to give myself a round of applause for that one. I remembered the button. Woo! Oh, I hope everyone's awake after this run. I know I am. That is not where I wanted to go, Ari. Up the stairs, up the stairs. All right. So, like I said, I did do a safety save, and I want to do one more trick. Normally, you're supposed to go fight the fire elemental first before doing this, but this is actually a little bit quicker, and it gets you an extra life stock. So I'm going to drag this here, and I'm just going to... hi, thank you. Just boost through that block. Again, 100% totally intended. Scout's Honor, cross my heart, hope to... I'm not going to finish that. But Scout's Honor, that's the intended way of doing this, and then we're just going to end this... I missed that. Ari, good job. Controller, please work. No, it's endlessly looping. So it just keeps going back and forth. Getting that life stock. Gonna kind of jump here and hope I land. There we go. Back here. And there we go. Grabbing the snowshoes, which is actually one of the few required pieces of equipment in the game. Actually, it's the only piece of required equipment in the game. And I missed that jump again. That's okay. Let's just hear "wee" for a long time. Wee! Wee! Shout outs to High Spirits. Wee!
So the snowshoes, those are the step-on spikes, right?
No, the snowshoes let us walk on snow. Oddly enough.
Okay.
I was gonna do a door boost through here, but I'm not comfortable with my eat count, so I'm going to do this the intended way. I can just get in their hitbox and go through here. All right, I got a really tricky corner jump here. Nailed it.
I do apologize for only knowing enough there.
You're never going to let me live that one down, are you?
I'm absolutely not.
There's a lot to know. I mean, I barely know enough of this game. There, does that make you feel better?
She's gonna let you know it's enough when it's enough.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hear it. I'm not. We every morning we share a Wordle with each other, or a Hello World Wordle now. But
knockoff Wordle, thank you.
Yes, the knockoff Wordle. Yes. So that's what we've been doing for like the last 2 years, and that's how our friendship has grown in this. I was afraid of that. Oh my god, I missed that corner jump again. So extra content. I'm just being nice. So we actually can't kill the ghost. Because they like to spawn, so we gotta do this little dance. We're playing musical chairs here. I don't know how that corner jump got missed. However, because we're also very low damage right now. Spikes, please. Okay.
I have never.
There we go.
Before.
I've seen it like once or twice. By the way, I did use the spike shoes and fell down that hole, right? Yes, I did. And I talked to the dwarf, who says, yeah, you need rafts to get beyond this point, and in order to do that, you need to cut down. Oh my god! No! All right, who wanted to see this dance again? I can dance if you want to. I can leave my quarter jumps behind. That was bad. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody for how bad I played today.
You're just making sure people are getting their time's worth.
Oh, absolutely. You know? I'm giving the next run plenty of time to practice. That's what it is. I'm gonna use a doll here. My EQ count's a little low, so I get the doll for a full heal. Yeah, so that's the fun of running on a controller you're not used to. is having to. Oh my god! It almost happened again. Hooray! I did it! Woo! Yatta! I think that's what the cool kids say these days too. All right.
Sure.
Yes, we're gonna go with that. It's like I'm nearly 40. I want to sound cool.
We're the cool kids.
We
clearly.
All right. Now that we got through that, and unfortunately, sad part is I gotta do that one more time later, and I'm gonna cry if it falls again. But extra content, yay!
Yes, crying is the best content?
Crying is the best content. I'm going to cry right now. No, I'm really not, but... all right, so we talked to the dwarf, and this is his son. He's guarding the pathway to the only tree in this dungeon, which is guarded by the needlessly winding corridor. And when I say needlessly winding, I mean it. It's like, what's the reason for that?
They thought about they could, not if they should.
I just clear-cutted the last pine in this entire dungeon for 2 logs. And as someone who runs a wood stove, 2 logs ain't going to last you long. All right, so we're finally at a point where we're going to be getting close to our first boss of 3 in this dungeon. Oh, I almost missed that. Yeah, if you step on there's actually a hidden button there that if you step on it, that block shows up. These dark dungeons without a lantern are pretty tricky, unless you have the brightness turned up a little bit. So I'm just going to get these 2 over here. I do need to collect their money in order for these buttons to show up. There are actually 3 there, but I only need 2 buttons, because the other one just leads to some optional stuff. So we're coming up on our first boss here, who I affectionately call the Fire Trollamental. Because it's going to decide how many statues of Gaia that I'm going to use. I'm going to pick up both geeks here, and there's a doll in this chest. And I'm going to pray that I don't get trolled by the Fire Elemental here. So... there's 4 blocks that he can appear from, and he just will teleport between them. So I'm going to use a Statue of Gaia, and you're going to notice I'm just going to continually slash. The reason I do that is because while you're slashing, the timer on the... Wow, I was not in the right spot. The timer on the Statue of Gaia doesn't decrease nearly as much. Oh my god. See, he's just trolling. He'll just sometimes just stand there and just continually throw fireballs for no reason. And he'll
it wouldn't be It wouldn't be an RPG without the RNG boss.
Yep. And this is just one of the RNG bosses. So, so if I lose Gaia or the power of the golden statue, I'm only going to be doing half the damage I'm doing to him right now. Also, how does fire dealing extra damage to fire?
Fight fire with fire.
You read my mind. Get out of my head, Emily. I was about ready to say go home. Up there. Hey, he actually went down fast. Oh, wait, that's right. I have 59 health instead of, I usually have 58 going into that fight. But, yay, he's dead. There's one down. He gives us one of the 3 pieces of Gola, which is what we need to open the door to the final boss. And that's basically what we're doing in this labyrinth, is getting the pieces of Gola. That is a ring. It's a piece of equipment called the Venus Stone. It triples the rate at which our sword charges, but we don't need it. Anytime we actually do need extra power with that, we're just going to use a gold statue. So we're going to backtrack a little bit. So we do have a little bit of time for any readings that you might have, my dear friend Lisa.
Thank you so much, Eri. I have a $25 donation from Game Stetson. Have to donate for the endless 90s show references speaking to my millennial heart. Such a fun and energetic run to wake up to. Looking forward to even more RPG Limit Break this week with all the great runs still to come.
Come on now. 90s references. I almost referenced Alf for some reason. Imagine me referencing Alf.
What?
What's that? And that's 80s. So I swore I'd get through a Limit Break without even mentioning it. No, I can't. I'm sorry, everyone. I am known for that speed run.
Alf is love. Alf is life.
Alf is something. I don't know if those are 2 words I would use with. I love the game. It's quirky. It's bad, and I love my bad campy games because I get to have a lot of fun, especially if I'm streaming and doing commentary. Because let's be honest, anyone who knows me, I don't take my speed running or anything I do serious. The pit of shame. No, that corner jump is ridiculously hard to do. So because I hit I hit the pit of shame, I will also now take another heal of shame. Flashing screen warning. 1, 2, 3. Boop. There we go. Again, because I'm nice.
I still remember one time we were talking, and you were talking about, how did I get this Alf reputation? How did I get this Alf reputation? I was like, Eri, there's an Alf doll like right behind you there. What do you?
Oh yeah, that's so. I drive a little side story here while I'm just kind of moving on. I drive a Toyota Prius, and the reason I drive a Prius isn't because of the fact that it's a very fuel efficient car, which is great, especially when you're living in the middle of nowhere in Maine. It's because the dealership that was selling the Priuses, every image they had of their Priuses had an Alf doll in it. And that is the reason I'm like, okay, I think it's a calling. That it's like I need to buy from this place, and sure enough, I bought a Prius from this dealership, and it was because of that Alf doll.
So you didn't get a free Alf doll with the car?
No, I already had one.
Well, I mean, he could have used a friend, is all I'm saying.
This is true. Imagine having 2 Alf dolls. The scary part is my Alf doll talks. All right, so we're coming up on the next boss here, Spinner. He hits like a truck. He can actually one-shot us if we're not careful. We're going to kind of line up over here. Nope, come back. Get over here.
Also...
And just going to lock him in the corner.
Oh, there we go. Stun lock, yeah. So can I just shout out, while we were on our way here, the fact that you built 2 rafts just to, fall off a couple of waterfalls anyway?
He got out of that stun lock. Okay, I'm saying the line.
Oh.
I'm saying the line. That's never happened before.
Trademark.
Okay, got him. Bye, Spinner. We don't use a statue of Guy on it because normally we're just supposed to stun lock him there and just hit him, but he fought out of it. Also, behind this waterfall, you can't see it very well. The hyper armor. It's the strongest armor in the game, and we're like, yes, finally an armor upgrade.
We can now take 1 hit.
Yeah, we could take more hits. I mean, the final bosses are still going to hit like trucks, but they're going to hit harder without them. So, get a little bit of a walking. We're just going through where we've been before. So, whoever has anything to say, whether it be Lisa or Emily or anybody else, please feel free.
Shoutouts to, oh no! It's again! Alright, so I'm just gonna do a little do-si-do here. But yeah, also another thing about that raft sequence, when there was like no rafts there, all you had to do was fashion one yourself out of a single log, and the game's full of trees, so still trying to figure that one out.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, we're both coastal people. We know we can't make one raft out of one log. At least the logs that are size that we can lift them over our head.
Oh yes, all those logs that you and me have made IRL.
Yes, I mean, hey, I do have a bunch of logs that I'm splitting at home, so because I got the.
And by logs, I totally meant rafts.
Okay, we did it. I don't need to do that quarter jump anymore.
Woo!
I'll take any pity claps these days. I love everyone watching today. Everyone at Limit Break has been so amazing, and it is a very much a big pleasure to be here. I honestly didn't think I'd get this run in, and I was like, when I saw, I was like, am I ready for this? And like, okay, ready or not, here I come. And it's like, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. All right, so one last time with the spike boots. Please line up for, oh my God, stop hitting me with the pointy thing. Okay. I'm going to call them choppas because they do kind of look like an orc cleaver in a way from Warhammer. Imagine me being a trans girl being into Warhammer. Shoutouts to Queen Peels for getting me into this game. Not Landstalker, Warhammer.
Warhammer, yes.
Yeah, I tried getting her to play Alf. I don't know how my relationship...
Why would you do that?
I don't know how my relationship is still functioning. I got one of my other girlfriends to play it too, and she wasn't even born in that previous millennium, so it's like getting any Alf reference to her was really difficult. But when she was playing, she's like, "What am I playing?"
I mean, if that's not love, then I really know what love is?
And again, the fact of the matter that she is still in a relationship with me after that torture. I mean, after that playing that wonderful, wonderful game, says something to her as a person, and me is like, I guess I've got to be nice enough that despite me torturing them with such a game, they still love me. And I will accept that. All right, got a little bit more here. Okay, the skeleton's here. Let's chop you down. 6. 1. Oh, come on. Please stop pointing. Stop hitting me. I'm tired of being hit. I'm tired. I just want breakfast and a nice another cup of coffee, and I want a nap for like an eternity, but not too long because there's so many more cool runs coming up on the RPG Limit Break. So after this is done, stay tuned because there is a lot more fun to be had. Also, shoutouts to actually having a key for this last door.
One of the few keys where we actually use the hand, or one of the few doors where we actually use the handle on it.
Yep. Also, hi Miro. We get to see you again. He's like, I am mad that you kicked my butt last time. He's really gonna be mad now because we're gonna just do the same thing. And that's Miro, everybody. Bye, Miro. We get the last piece of Gola. I think I might have double checked because I'm pretty sure I collected all 3, but 1, 2, 3, there we go.
You did, yeah.
Whew, I did it. So, final dungeon coming up. I'd say probably about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how things are. But this is King Nole's palace. 5 e-geeks and a handful of dolls. I should be okay. There's not a lot in the way of combat in this dungeon. We do get some nice chill music for the final dungeon, though. Last livestock, we are at 60, just as I anticipated. That is not how I want to do that. That is not how I want to do that skip. You know what? This is fine. We're improvising.
This is fine. Everything's on fire. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, damage boost through these because I don't like corner jumps anymore. Heck, corner jumps. All right. So this room, we need to kill these 3 here in order to get a pot to spawn. And we don't want to break this pot. We actually want to carry it. Because anything in this game you carry, whether it's a pot, a dog, or a box, whatever, a chicken, it's just going to be lifted over his head. Because Nigel is like the strongest being on the face of this planet. This is really scary. Okay, we made it. If I miss that, the cycles don't line up again for a long time, and it just becomes annoying.
Do they reset if you leave the room?
Yes, if I leave the room, but if I leave the room and come back, I need to fight those lizards again. All right, the waiting room. We wait, and then go. And we're gonna get rid of a couple of knights here. Knighty knight. And a little sneaky step, because if we step too far, those statues get activated. And... oh, good, I made it. I was afraid I wasn't gonna make that jump. Making it look easy. I'm a pro. Absolutely. All right. Now, this is the only reason I don't ever run this on emulator, because I need every I don't want input lag. This is actually very difficult, and I got through it, thankfully. I actually can't do that on emulator because the input lag is so big. Jumping, taking that, and come on. All right, so we just got one more jump. And with that, the platforming is done in the game. So we are coming up on the final boss rush of the game. We got 4 bosses. 2 of them are reskins, but we're going to make this hopefully go easy if the D-pad will cooperate with me today. So we're going to go ahead, and we got a handful of gold statues. We're going to go ahead and use one here. And we're just going to say no, 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 no. I said no! Okay. I was gonna say, do I have to speak? Do I have to ask? Do I have to say no in Spanish? No. There we go. I can say it in French too. I think it's no. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so this is Spinner 2.
Shapely, I don't know either.
Okay, please. Okay, all right, so improvising strats with Spinner 2. Okay, so the reason I was jumping and slashing again, I was trying to keep that timer going. So I only had to use 1 gold statue. Spinner 2 is a lot more dangerous than Spinner 1. So this is the final hallway. Got some really nice, chill platform. You're not broken. Okay, phew. The way this week's gone, I'm just scared of everything just failing.
And it's only Monday.
It's only Monday. Oh, are you
You got this.
Please tell me that you're saying it's only Monday. I can't get worse. I had my controller break during practice, and I had to go back out. I missed my connecting flight. I had to wait 10 hours at JFK to get my next flight. I'm like, this has been a week. I'm tired, but it's all worth it. So, hey, we found King Nole's treasure. Game over, everyone. No, not really. So King Nole is not happy we found his treasure. So this is King Nole. I call him King Troll. Because, and you'll see why really quick. Because wow, okay, I'm going to use $1 right here. King Nole just teleports around. Again, not referencing any Zelda boss at all. Just teleports around, and we have to kind of... He is not cooperating at all. Oh my... No, please. So when we hit him, we actually have a chance to do anywhere between 1 or 5 hits. We want to do 5, of course, but of course he's just gonna... He's gonna live up to his name, King Troll. I got 5 E-Geeks on me. Wow, he actually went for a slasher. He usually never does that. Come on, Nole. I do have...
There we go.
I do have 1 extra... You know, Nole. I love hugs as much as the next girl, but if you're going to hug me, please drop the axe first. Or if you're going to at least have the axe on you, I have a bunch of wood that needs splitting. Help out, please. Excuse me. Okay, Nole's gone.
There we go.
So... And now that Nole's gone, the Duke has shown up. And he's going to claim the treasure for himself and give us a 20 gold reward for finding it. Isn't that nice of him? We can buy a candy bar. At least a candy bar in 1993. Definitely not today. However, in that, this dragon shows up. It does what we all want to do to rich people. So this is Gola, the dragon god, final boss of the game, and he has a tail swipe that stuns us. So this is like the blue balls in that Aghanim has in Legend of Zelda. There's 3. We want as few as possible. So we kind of just stand here and just jump slashers 4. And this is the reason I get the extra gold statue as well. I also call this boss Trolla because of those tail swipes. 5. Oh, I might get Gola's Blessing. No, okay, we're good. So if you actually are on the ground when you get hit with the tail swipe, you're stunned, and you get what's called Gola's Blessing, which is he just breathes fire on you, which kind of sucks because I then have to reposition myself. Gola's Blessing, let's go. No, wait, I didn't go. That was some luck there. I've lost count. What am I at, like 13? I'm going to probably lose gold statue power, but this is the final boss of the game, and this is basically what we do. As long as we're in this spot, he just drops his head, and we just continually hit him. If the gold statue power fades, I'm just going to use my backup that I got. Wow, he loves swinging that tail today. Come on, he should be almost down. And time will be coming up soon. As long as I don't keep getting tail swipes. And yep, that's what happens with too many tail swipes. So we're going to recharge that. Oh, that's it. That's time. And now we get gold raining upon us. We have found the treasure of King Nole. And yeah, after we find the treasure, Friday's like, well, now what? And it's just a good analogy in life. It's like sometimes when you get to that end goal, you just sometimes don't know what to do next. Always have something in mind. I don't know. I just made that up on top of my head. So yeah, that's Landstalker, the Treasures of King Nole, with Dog Dungeon included. Thanks to all of you for that. Emily, thank you so much for being a friend, traveling down that road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
Thank you. I'm honored that I could sit here with you and be with you on this run, and I am blessed that I know enough. But for real,
never gonna let me live that down.
Never gonna let you live that down, but for real, love you. You're my best friend. Happy to be here with you.
Love you too, my friend, and I'm glad you were able to arrange this as well. Shout outs to everyone at RPG Limit Break, the staff, the tech crew, especially the tech crew with this, because it's like, this is an old system. It works somehow. I don't know how anymore, but it works. Shout outs to my friend Lisa on hosting duty. You nailed it. Great job, Lisa. Let's give everyone who's here, give a round of applause to the tech crew, staff, Emily, Lisa. You all wonderful people. And I'm happy to know all of you. My name is LadyErianna, and it's been a pleasure being here. I hope to see you all again soon. Take care, everyone. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, LadyErianna. I want everyone to stay tuned right now. We're going to take a few minutes for an ad. Stay here. welcome back to RPG Limit Break 2025, live from Denver, Colorado. It's me, your host, Lisa Rocks. I had a great time with you all, and I want you to stay tuned. We have a familiar voice coming up next to host. You may have heard him on the previous run on commentary. We have Ghost Kumo. So please, keep it locked here to RPG Limit Break. Goodbye, everybody.
Welcome back to RPG Limit Break 2025, live from Denver, Colorado. I am your host for the next run of Golden Sun, Ghost Kumo. Stay tuned, everybody. We're getting all set up for that run here. Once again, just wanted to remind y'all, we are RPG Limit Break, benefiting NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, a grassroots advocacy organization formed in 1979, a group of parents whose children suffered from serious mental illnesses, which they have maintained the focus on to this day. NAMI has been our partner for basically our entire existence of the event, which is now currently celebrating its 10th anniversary, which we're really excited about. And yeah, it's a very near and dear charity to me and to a lot of our attendees here, so we definitely would very much greatly appreciate all of your love and support for Navi. Really quick, we did have a donation from that last run. $25 from Far Diddy Far Far. This is first donation of the marathon. Can't wait to donate more later. RPG Limit Break hype! Really quick, would like to remind everybody that we do have donation names for the coming run of Golden Sun. That's going to be cutting off very soon. We have names for Garrett, Isaac, Ivan, and Mia, our 4-player characters. Notably, Mia is currently tied between Piers and Ray at $50. So any donation can tip one of those over, or you can submit $51 to get any name that you would want. Or $46 if you want it to be Goose, because that currently is in third with 5. We also have, this is quite amusing actually. The name for Garrett currently in the lead is Jenna at $50. For Isaac, it is Felix at $100. And for Ivan, it is Sheba at $50. So if you want to bolster the lead, or if you would just like to put something towards a different name, go ahead, because the names are cutting off pretty quickly. I will burn like the brightest